Zenescope is a publisher that owns the obscure Grimm fairy tale universe, and this is the story of one of its heroines. Before we begin, I would like to warn you that my pronunciations are not the best. That being said, let's begin. Van Helsing's Sword of Heaven follows Liesel Van Helsing on her journey through India to find the Sword of Heaven. It begins with her heading to the home of an archaeologist, but opens the door to see the man and his entire family slaughtered by a vampire. The vampire swallows the amulet she needs and attempts to escape, but she succeeds in killing him, and in the process of retrieving the amulet from its insides, she is interrupted by the police. She avoids them by hiding in the midst of a crowd in an ongoing festival. She heads back to her hotel room where she is visited by a vampire called Rajan Khan, who warns her to stop looking for the sword when the police break down her door, knock her out, and take her into custody. Then she is released by agent Lalita Dara, who also tells her to leave India and forget about the sword, but she refuses and heads to another hotel in Delhi. Whilst in Delhi, she gives the boy money to get her ticket to the next train to Kishangarh. On the way to her room, she is ambushed by thugs, who are later killed by Rajan, who at this point just wants to turn her into a vampire. He chases her until they go over a bridge with running water, because vampires can't be killed by running water. She makes it to the train and heads to a VIP carriage, when she is visited by a corpse possessed by a demon called the Beata, who also tells her to stop looking for the sword and leave India while Agent Dara gets orders to keep the situation under wraps, not to create panic in the public. Liesel is left stranded in the Thar desert due to a misunderstanding concerning the corpse, but Agent Dara comes across her and gives her a lift. While they're fueling the car, Liesel notices a sandstorm and they escape it by falling off a cliff. They both survive and continue on foot, and at the same time the Beata raises more undead to go after them. Liesel and Dara decide to find shade and wait for nightfall since the desert is hot during the day, when Dara notices some of the undead heading north away from them, while the rest head toward the village intent on killing all the inhabitants, but they are stopped by Liesel and Dara with some help from a village girl, who gives Liesel direction to the garage in which she blows up, setting all the undead on fire. Liesel pays the girl for her uncle's bike, which she and Dara uses to get to the nearest city. In the city, a man tries to steal the bike belonging to Liesel when he is caught and eaten by Rajan, who is looking for her. Liesel and Dara are at the palace belonging to the Beata-possessed corpse of a dead prince. Liesel pretends to be one of the tourists and succeeds in getting in, where she waits for nightfall when she manages to find the door which the amulets can be used to open. She is interrupted by Rajan, which she distracts with a riddle. She tries to make a deal with him, telling him the answer of the riddle if he helps her. Rajan lies and leaves her to be captured, while Agent Dara is also captured by the Beata outside the palace. Lisa wakes up in the room belonging to the undead prince, where he tries to make her comfortable as she can get with a zombie. But she remarks on how he stinks and he sprays himself with some perfume. He goes on to tell her how vampires are vital to maintaining balance amongst the dead and the living. He takes her underground to a shrine with a corpse of a dead security guard and an unconscious Agent Dar. He possesses the dead guard and tries to kill Dara, but Liesel stops him by chopping off his head, but he kills Dara anyway by ripping her heart out right in front of Liesel, and traps Liesel in the form of mental hallucination and makes her think she's in hell. Liesel wakes up in a room with the possessed corpse of Agent Dara while Rajan shows up on the roof and kills the guard. The demon leaves Dara's body for the prince, which gives Liesel some time alone to initiate a technique that creates the illusion of her being dead. Liesel then surprises the demon and his guards by chopping off the head of the prince and senselessly killing the guards, which the demon then possesses, but she ends them by cutting off their heads as well. She then manages to evade 3 other guards, killing 2 in the hopes of escaping, while the demon raises more undead under the palace. She is then met with the possessed corpse of Agent Dara, which she shoots in the head and grabs the amulet. After she finds and opens the door, she notices what seems to be another door on the floor and tries to open it, but is once again bothered by Rajan, who is unaware of the undead massing behind him. Rajan begins chopping off their heads while Liesel tries to open the door, but to no avail. She then tricks Rajan with another puzzle on how to open the door. When he figures out it's like a vending machine, opening a hidden room behind Liesel that houses the Sword of Heaven. She then uses the sword to send the demon to wherever it came from, and later uses it to kill Rajan, ending his annoyance once and for all. After that was handled, she sets the palace on fire, heads back home, and locks the sword away in a safe until the time comes. This miniseries was real fun for me. It was packed with a lot of action, adventure, mystery, and horror, but the main reason that made me fall in love with this comic was the reimagining of Van Helsing, making him a female character instead of the typical stereotypical male. But this is quite normal for Zenescope comics, seeing as the majority of the characters are female. And don't get me wrong or anything, I really do love male characters. I mean, my favorite hero is Batman, but it's always nice to see a welcome change. Uh, well, one that isn't too drastic. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Comment below if you have any suggestions or if you have anything on your mind you'd like to add to it. Unlike if you didn't like it. I hope you do like it. Subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.